Most executives and business owners that I meet with are leaving six figures on the table with their retirement plans, not because they're lazy, but because no one's ever explained to them their options in a way that actually makes sense. Today, I'm going to fix that with a field guide that you can actually use. I'm Dan Pascone, founder of Tailored Wealth, and I help executives and business owners to optimize wealth, slash taxes, and reach financial independence. I'm a former executive and now a business owner, so I understand the financial challenges facing successful, busy professionals. And if you're tired of the alphabet soup benefits guide that you promise to read over but never do, you're in the right place. Here's what nobody tells you about retirement plans. The plan your company chose wasn't designed for you specifically. It was chosen for broad adoption, administrative ease, or maximum owner savings. Your job is to figure out which lane you're in and optimize your strategy within that system. Think lanes first, products second, because your purpose defines your plan. And when you know the game you're playing, suddenly all those acronyms start making sense. Private sector folks, which is likely most of you watching, you're in the 401k lane. These are safe harbor designs and potentially a profit sharing or cash balance option if you're really trying to accelerate savings. Public sector and education folks, you're in a different universe. 403b and 457b plans, which on paper look much like 401ks, but have completely different rules and opportunities. I'm going to walk through both. And stick with me even if one doesn't apply to you now, because career transitions do happen and it's important to know both playbooks. Let's start with the workhorse, the 401k. Pre-tax contributions lower your tax bill today, and Roth contributions grow tax-free forever. And most plans allow you to split contributions across both, which is likely what you should be doing because it allows you to build tax diversification for your future self. And here's the move that most people miss: the mega backdoor Roth. If your plan allows after-tax contributions with in-plan Roth conversions, you can push way more into Roth accounts than typical limits. Now, not every plan allows for this, so check your plan summary description, but if it does, it's a massive opportunity. Another gem is the age 55 separation rule. If you leave your plan in or after the year you turn 55, you can access that 401k money without paying the 10% early withdrawal penalty. This is huge if you're planning for what I call hybrid retirement, which is flexible, purposeful work you actually enjoy while generating income, but also living off of your savings penalty-free. And here's a more recent win. Roth accounts within employer plans no longer have required minimum distributions while you're still alive. That means more control over your retirement income strategy and potentially more wealth that you can pass on. Now, if you're a business owner, here's why the 401k is your friend. Company plans have non-discrimination testing, but 401ks have safe harbor designs that make this way simpler. So you can fully participate without worrying about failing compliance tests. Add profit sharing and you can contribute more total dollars while targeting contributions by role or tenure within the rules. And many employers now allow Roth contributions and matches, which is amazing for tax diversification across your entire team. And here's a move that changes retirement outcomes fast: automatic enrollment with automatic escalation. If you turn it on, each employee is automatically enrolled and their contributions automatically escalate by 1% a year unless they choose otherwise, which ultimately builds great behavior. Now pair this with regular education sessions for new hires and annually for all employees, and now you've built a benefit that actually attracts and retains talent. Quick pause. If you realize that there's more to optimize here than you thought, I've put together a series of free guides on retirement strategies, tax savings, and company stock plans. Head over to yourtailoredwealth.com. The link is in the description, and go ahead and grab anything that's relevant to your situation. Now let's talk about the starter plans: simple IRAs and SEP IRAs. Simple IRAs are light on administration, easy to launch, and great for early stage teams. But here's the catch: they have lower contribution limits than 401ks, limited design flexibility. And as your payroll grows, this chassis starts to hold you back. Use a simple as a bridge when you're small, but then transition to a safe harbor 401k as you grow and scale. SEP IRAs are even simpler. Ultra simple paperwork and employer only contributions, which is perfect when it's just you and maybe a small team. But every employee must get the same percentage of pay. That flat percentage rule gets expensive as headcount grows. So if you're scaling, plan your exit strategy now, so you're not stuck funding a structure that no longer fits your business. Cash balance plans are the deduction accelerators for owners that want to superfund their savings. They're usually paired with a 401k profit sharing setup and work best when you've got predictable cash flow and can commit to multi-year funding. I've seen owners put away $200 to $300K or more in tax advantage accounts using these. But don't just slap one on because they sound cool. They require planning, commitment, and the right business structure. Done right, they're a game changer. Done wrong, they're an expensive headache. If you work for a school, hospital, or nonprofit, the 403B is your parallel to the 401k. Same elective deferrals, usually a Roth option, but there's a unique twist: the 15-year service catch-up. If you've been with your employer long enough, you might get extra contribution room that most people don't even know exists. And the age 55 separation rule that we discussed earlier can apply here too. But one thing to watch is to know your ERISA status. Fiduciary responsibilities and oversight requirements change whether your plan is ERISA covered or not. And that's not just technical paperwork. It changes how your plan is managed and protected. Government 457 plans are incredible. They have a separate deferral limit from your 401k or 403b, which means that you can save into both buckets. That's double the tax advantage savings, a massive opportunity that most people miss. And distributions aren't subject to the 10% early withdrawal penalty. Plus, there's a 3-year catch-up provision that can be a powerful late-stage savings lever. Non-government 457 plans are a completely different animal. They're typically unfunded, restricted to selective management, and property of the employer with restricted rollovers. And you need to understand your employer's credit risk in these plans, because if your company goes under, your deferred comp could go with it. Read the documents carefully and don't assume that it works like a 401k. It doesn't. Here are a few rule shifts to put on your radar. Auto-enrollment is now required for most new 401k and 403b plans starting in 2025. I suggest setting the default high enough to capture the match and let it escalate automatically. Part-time eligibility expanded in 2025. So now if you've done 2 consecutive years of 500 hours or more, you're typically eligible for these plans. That affects a lot of ERISA-covered 403bs. So build it into your payroll and eligibility systems. And here's what I'm really excited about. Roth catch-up contributions for high earners begin in 2026. If your prior year wages are above the threshold, your catch-up generally needs to be in the Roth. Treat that as a tax diversification lever, not a punishment. And remember, designated Roth accounts inside employer plans no longer have required minimum distributions while you're alive, so you have more flexibility later in life. Now let me share a quick client story that will bring company retirement planning to life. A growing firm came to us a couple of years ago. They had been using a simple IRA for many years while their company was smaller, but the business had 10x, and the full-time employee count went from 5 to 25, and the owner felt frustrated because of the lack of savings opportunities within his current plan. So we moved them to a safe harbor 401k with a profit-sharing option. That raised the ceiling for total annual savings and allowed us to deploy employer dollars with more precision. We also turned on the Roth 401k so that the owner and the team could save into both pre-tax and future tax-free buckets, achieving actual tax diversification. We upgraded the investment lineup to institutional share classes and added managed models for those that wanted a guided path. The outcome? Higher savings opportunities for the owner and the team, more flexible tax planning, and a benefit that allows them to attract and retain talent. More importantly, the plan now actually matched the ambition of the business instead of holding it back. Now let me clean up the most common mistakes I see every week so you don't make them. Mistake 1, missing the separate 457B limit if you have a 401k or 403B paired with a government 457B. Coordinate both. Don't leave money on the table. Mistake number 2, ignoring the 403B service-based catch-up for long-tenured staff. This is extra contribution space you might be leaving unused. Mistake number 3, assuming that the Roth is income limited through your company plan. Roth IRA limits don't apply within company plans. If your plan allows for it, you can use it regardless of your income. Mistake number 4 is letting the investment menu sprawl until people freeze with analysis paralysis. Keep a clean core of broad, low-cost options, along with managed models for those that prefer simplicity. Mistake 5 is running yesterday's plan within a growing company. A simple IRA feels fine until your payroll and headcount make those lower limits feel painful. It's time to upgrade to the 401k before the problem becomes obvious, not after. And if you want a quick framework to get the right design, here's my 3-step approach. Step 1 is purpose. Decide if your priority is owner-focused savings, broad employee benefit, or both. And this purpose will help to decide your chassis. Step 2 is people. Map your eligibility, auto-enrollment, vesting, and testing. A safe harbor 401k removes common headaches. And public employers can pair a 403b with a government 457 to open up additional savings. Step 3 is plan. Offer a Roth, keep the investment menu clean, and do regular education sessions so the team actually understands the benefit that you offer. Purpose, people, plan, in that order. Now here's what to do this week if you're an employee. Log into your plan portal, turn on the Roth if it's available, and set an auto increase tied to your next raise. And check your investment allocation. If your lineup feels crowded, then choose a managed model that matches your risk and time horizon. Simple moves, big impact. Now here's what to do this week if you're a business owner. If your growth is real and you're still using a simple or a SEP, price out using a safe harbor 401k with a profit-sharing option. Turn on auto-enrollment and escalation and pair it with regular education sessions when new employees come on board and at least once a year. Your plan should work as hard as your people do. Now let me recap this idea so it sticks. Purpose first, people second, plan third. Choose the chassis that actually fits your goals so your plan works for you, not against you. When purpose matches intention, your benefits stop being a confusing alphabet soup and start being a real wealth-building engine. That's the difference between just checking a compliance box and actually building financial freedom. If you want ongoing advice that keeps you current on plan design, equity compensation, and tax strategy, subscribe to our free newsletter at makingsenseofyourmoney.com. The link is in the description. Join the community and stay ahead of rule changes. And if this was helpful, smash that like button and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. I'm Dan Pascone with Tailored Wealth. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.